Hi cellists! I want you to know that it doesn't have to be scary like that if you follow a few simple steps. The first thing to remember is not to change more than one string at a time. If you choose to change all your strings at once, you have the possibility of your sound post falling down. The first step is to take your old string off. To take your string off, all you need to do is turn your peg towards you, and then that will loosen the string and you'll just be able to pull it right off. I like to save my strings just in case I need an emergency backup. So I like to wind them up like this in a little circle. I'll put this string in the corresponding new string envelope so that I can remember which one is which. Saving your old strings as backups is a really good idea. Over the years, you're going to get a ton of emergency strings at your disposal. And they're also really good as emergency strings because they've already been stretched out. The next thing is you want to take a soft graphite pencil like this, and you want to color in the grooves on the nut and on the bridge. And this is going to provide lubrication so that your string has no problems rubbing against that area. It keeps the strings from breaking. You'll take your new string, get it out of the packaging, and unwind it. And you'll see that there are two ends. One has a little ball on it, and then one has kind of this stiff end. This stiff end is the end that's going to go in the hole in your peg. And what I usually like to do is I'll get it inserted in the hole and let it come out the other side about 1/8 of an inch. That way it doesn't slip out of that little hole. And then I start winding it up. To wind the string on the peg, you're going to want to turn the peg away from you, and you're going to want to keep the part that you're winding very tight against the peg. At this point, don't really worry about this ball end yet. We will get to that in a moment. So always the loose end is going to be towards the peg box. Once you've gotten it turned enough times on the peg so that the colored wrapping is above the nut on the cello, you can start thinking about getting the other end hooked onto the tailpiece. If you have fine tuners on your cello, then you just hook this ball between the two prongs of the fine tuner. But for me, I'm just going to insert it in this hole in my tailpiece since I have peg heads, and then let the string pull up into this slot. Sometimes I find it helpful to hold the string in the middle so that it stays attached to the tailpiece and stays really straight on the peg. If you let it go and just let it stay loose, the string will cross over and wrap onto itself. And if that happens, the string has more of a tendency to break where it crosses itself. Don't cross the strings! Once you get it pretty tight, you want to go slowly so that you don't have any possible string breakage. If you need a refresher on how to use your pegs effectively, I have a video on how to tune with your pegs, which you can refer to. I go really slowly to get it approximately in tune, because you're going to have to tune it again once you get them all replaced. I might even leave it a little bit high because it will definitely sag. Once you've repeated this process for all your strings, you're going to want to check to see if your bridge has stayed straight or not. When it's straight, this back part of the bridge towards the tailpiece is going to be perpendicular to the belly. And then this part is going to lean a little bit back. So if you find that it's not that way, because as you tune your strings higher, it pulls the bridge this way. All you have to do is take both hands and jiggle the bridge down to try to get it to be straight.